the gun, and then we'll go.
We'll never surrender.
Skin boots on a Saturday night.
Hello guys, this is the Gaming Revolution here and welcome back to an all new Black Ops 3 Zombies video. Now today we're going to be going over a storyline theory and a bit of a prediction for DLC 4 Revelations. Now at the time you're actually watching this video, I'm currently on holiday for 2 weeks, so all of these videos are pre-recorded, so if you're wondering why I'm not staying up to date with all the news and Easter eggs, that is indeed why, but I'll be covering it all once I am back. Now today I'm going to be discussing about a prediction in terms of the blood vials and in terms of the reoccurring cycle that is indeed the Zombies storyline and universe. Now at the end of the good old Crovey Easter egg, when we see Nikolai 1.0 shoot Nikolai 2.0, we see that there was already a bullet in place prior to him shooting there, and I think this is a massive signal by Treyarch towards something huge in terms of the overall storyline. Now we've seen with maps such as Mob of the Dead that the zombie storyline is basically a reoccurring cycle. When the characters die, all they do is attempt to gain in another alternative version of themselves. When a character dies, it splits off one possible multi-universe. When the characters survive, it splits off to another universe. When the characters complete the Easter egg, it will create another universe. Then when the characters fail the Easter egg, it will be another universe, and so on and so forth from there. We have seen throughout the zombie storyline numerous times that whenever the characters fail, they simply have a go at it again. Now what I think the bullet hole already being in place on Nikolai's armor is because they've been attempting at rewriting history or correcting the multi-universes to just one universe for multiple eons. They've been attempting this for ages. Different versions of themselves have been attempting this for ages, but they've still yet to succeed. Now what I mean by this is that if the characters ever die on any of the maps, another version of themselves will have a second attempt at it, and this is why when your game finishes and you see the forest cutscene, the game then restarts again if you want to go ahead and attempt the game again. It's quite obvious that the fourth wall has been broken multiple times within the zombie storyline. I believe that when we die and we see the forest cutscene, that's sort of like a purgatory-like realm. It's a state and a stance where the characters' collective minds and thoughts are held prior to them having a second attempt. Just like we saw within the Black Ops 3 Zombies campaign with the frozen forest. It's not real, it's simply a stance, it's a state. Now we know that there's an infinite amount of multi-universes, and because of this we have a wide variety of different versions of our 4 different characters. Now we even hear a quote from Dr. Monty that reads as follows: "You know how people say that every snowflake is unique? That single every one is an individual, one of a kind, irrefutable evidence of the miracles of Mother Nature. Well, it's not true. Snowflakes aren't all that unique. They are really only about 12 different designs. The point I'm making is that you lot are hardly one of a kind snowflakes. You were fragmented across a multitude of different realities, but each and every one is basically the same. You are all you. The liar, the braggart, the drunk, the one who didn't know what he had until it was gone, the good soldier, never disobeyed orders, never broke protocol, still kicked ass all the same time, the loyal servant, a warrior out of time, born too late or born too early, unbound to dying traditions, the man-child broken and twisted by a life burdened with knowledge, living like a soul who is perpetually drowning." Now what I think this means is that obviously we have, as he just said, an infinite amount of multi-universes, but he's saying that all of the characters within the multi-universes are simply fragments of themselves. They're all the same person, they're all very alike, and we know that their thoughts and memories of these said characters are merging with other versions of themselves from past, present, future, and other universes. And what this means is that although we have an infinite amount of Richtophens, we have an infinite amount of Tachios, and so on and so forth from there, they are all the same person. We are just seeing slightly different versions of themselves. Throughout these different multi-universes, they are attempting at saving the universe in each of them. I believe that. And I believe that whenever the characters have failed at saving the universe, they simply have a second attempt, but it's another version of the Origins characters that are once again attempting this all over again. It's a reoccurring cycle. If they fail, it just starts all over again. They can never truly fail, as in there's no way where they will succeed. And I think that is, as I said, symbolized by the fact that there was already a bullet within Nikolai's armor. Now, more evidence and more proof of this is that on the Giant there's such quotes as Dempsey saying that he's killed multiple Richtofen, so clearly they've been doing this and attempting this multiple times. However, his own character, Dempsey, as in the character that he is on the Giant, the one that we played as, has only killed him once. However, as he said, their thoughts and memories are connecting and colliding as one. The universes are bleeding together, the universes are completely broken, and that's their end goal, to fix all of this shenanigans that is most likely started by Maxis. As we hear from the Dr. Monty quote, he was the first. But that's regardless to the topic of this video. The point I'm trying to make is that although that version of himself has not killed multiple Richtofens and, you know, hundreds and hundreds of Richtofens, technically speaking they've killed an infinite amount of universes because there's an infinite amount of his own self. However, he remembers all the deaths as one, as if the characters did all of them when it was really only one set of their characters. However, because all of their thoughts and memories have collided, he is representing that as all the deaths being because of them. Now, this leads me onto my DLC 4 Revelations prediction. Now, I've mentioned this before. Now, we know that the characters have the blood vials. Now, we don't know the blood vials' true purpose as of yet. However, I'm going to speculate a little bit about what I think they are. But first of all, we do know that obviously Richtofen has 2 blood vials from Mob of the Dead. He has one from Sal DeLuca and he has one from Finn O'Leary. We know this because the character numbers match up with one another. So at some point prior to Origins, Richtofen has indeed visited Mob of the Dead at some point. And there's obviously quotes on Godod Crovey mentioning that. At some point he collected their blood, but only of 2 of the characters for some weird reason. And we obviously have the Mob of the Dead plane following us throughout. We've seen it on Shadows of Evil and we've seen it on the Giant, so there's more significance there. I do believe the Weasel is returning, but that's all for another video. I've talked about that within previous videos. Now, at the end of the Zetsubo no Shima Easter egg, we do also know that the other 3 characters went somewhere. They went in the Rift Portal and they went to another place, another dimension, to again collect more blood vials. Now, we think that some of these blood vials are from some of the transit crew based on this cipher on Godod Crovey, and we think they were most likely experimented on, the transit crew were experimented on, or at least some of the transit crew were experimented on to get their blood extracted, most likely from the Nuketown bunker. But I believe they've gotten blood from 2 other characters as well, and in my personal opinion, I think they may have gotten them from the Shadows of Evil crew. Now, they may have gotten them from all the transit crew, but I think they've definitely gotten some from the Shadows of Evil crew as well, based on the original promo image that we got for Black Ops 3 Zombies, Only the Cursed Survive, which showed an unknown character, which I'll be talking about again in another video, which has red eyes. It's a zombie and he's holding the beast symbol in his hand. Now, just look at the quote, Only the Cursed Survive. We know that the Mob of the Dead crew are cursed, that's why they can go into purgatory mode, and we know that the Shadows of Evil crew are cursed as well, so they can go into beast mode. And as I said, we don't have any proof that they've gotten them from the Shadows of Evil crew, but it would make sense. That means the transit crew must be cursed as well. And if you think about it, there was Who's Who on Die Rise, so that's kind of like a purgatory-like mode if you honestly think about it. So I think the transit crew are cursed just like the Mob of the Dead and Shadows of Evil crew, and I think that the blood is going to be used so the characters can essentially survive. They need cursed blood, and this cursed blood will allow the characters to survive. We've heard multiple times now, Primus will fail. The characters are destined to die. No matter what the outcome is for DLC 4, there's going to be death. There's going to be death all around. Richtofen's probably the most likely one who is going to die. I think we will fail in DLC 4. I think no matter what we do, we will fail. Now, I know that our characters, the Origins characters, are technically not Primus, since they are reincarnations of Primus. They are descendants of Primus, but I still think that quote is referring to them, unless we physically see Primus within DLC 4, or we see the children. Obviously, we know that Richtofen's been in the house. He's been in the house the entire time. Samantha's there as well with Maxis, and I guess they're going to be joined by the other 1.0 souls, although Richtofen's already there. But regardless of the outcome of DLC 4, regardless whether they fail because of Dr. Monty, whether they fail because of Richtofen, whether they fail because of Maxis, whether all the characters betray each other, whether everything just goes tits up and they all just get into a massive battle and just shit goes tits up, it does not matter how they fail, but they will fail. We know that whenever we die in a game, so we die, we get the forest cutscene, and then we restart the game, That's just us playing as another version of ourselves, you know, just attempting the storyline again. However, it's just jumped up to that point in the storyline once again. And that's essentially Premise failing when they die. But I think we will fail in some other way as well. We will fail to stop the Apothecans. Obviously, we're going to see some sort of big Keeper versus Apothecan, big apocalyptic battle. We're going to enter the house. And I think when we fail, we're going to use the blood vials. And when we use these said blood vials, what they're going to do is they're going to allow us to alter something within this current universe, which will allow the characters to have a second attempt at saving the universe. The zombie storyline is a reoccurring cycle. It always has, it always will be. We need to break the cycle. I don't think we're going to break it first time, or at least the first time we're playing. Obviously, they've been attempting this for years. You've got to understand, multiple versions of our characters have been attempting this for eons. Obviously, I can't bracket timelines as years since it's not technically that, because it's just them restarting the cycle again. But they've been repeating this over and over and over and over and over and over again. They have yet to succeed. The universes are still fucked up, and if Richtofen does have his own agenda, he's not managed to achieve it at the moment. And I definitely think Dr. Monty has his own agenda as well, and Maxis is definitely hiding something. But again, this is all coming to why they may indeed fail. I think we're going to use the blood vials, we're going to alter the universe, we're going to have a second attempt at saving the universe, and that's why we already see this bullet on Nikolai's armor. Because it's just them going back again. I think we've been to Revelations. Wherever Revelations is going to be set, it could be set in Egypt. It really doesn't matter where it's set. We're obviously going to enter the house at some point. We've been to Revelations multiple times. We've gotten to this point in the storyline multiple times. And I think Premise, well, reincarnations of Premise have kept on failing. They've kept on failing. But the blood vials are what is going to protect them. The blood vials are the reassurance policy if everything goes tits up, so they can have a second attempt. I think Treyarch are going to pull another Black Ops 2 on us. They're going to leave us with a massive cliffhanger, and we're going to have a second attempt at saving the universe, but I think next time we may indeed succeed. But things will happen differently this time because they have altered something within this universe, which may indeed make it easier for the characters. That's just my own personal theory. It's just a theory. I could be completely wrong here. Premise may indeed succeed, but as he said, they're not technically Premise, they're just reincarnations of Premise. As you can tell, it gets pretty confusing. But I just can't see it succeeding. Treyarch have set up the plot for DLC 4 Revelations so well that we already think we're gonna fail. Now we do know that Jason Bloodell said that he's going to put brackets around the storyline with DLC 4 Revelations, but I think these brackets are simply not going to close off the storyline. I just think they're going to explain just the overall storyline as a whole a hell of a lot better. I think the World at War and Black Ops storyline, and also Black Ops 2 storyline, is going to be explained a lot better. We're going to have a much better understanding of the storyline, but I still don't think it's going to close off the storyline. It's just going to put brackets around the storyline as a whole and make it make a lot more sense. And obviously we do have the COD Zombies comic books that are going to be releasing, which will explain a lot more about what the hell is going on here, because, you know, it seems like Dr. Monty's giving commands to Maxis, then Maxis is giving commands to Richtofen, then Richtofen's going off on his own way. Although I think Dr. Monty thinks that Richtofen doesn't know something when he truly does, and I think that's got something to do with his soul not going up into the portal at the end of the God Crovey Easter egg. But anyways, let me know all of your thoughts on this down in the comment section down below. I know this has been a bit of a ramble, but honestly, we're at a point within the storyline where it's very hard to tie all of the loose ends together. Treyarch have given us so much teasers in regards to DLC 4, but there's not really any way to predict what's happening. All we can do is ramble, all we can do is suspect, all we can do is predict. I'm sure a lot of this is not going to come true, but hopefully some of it does. Let me know all of your thoughts, as always, down in the comment section down below. So anyways, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not here for the latest and greatest Black Ops 3 Zombies news information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye. Are you guys interested in getting free Call of Duty points for free supply drops and liquid divinium and or DLC as well? Well, have I got news for you. There's going to be a link in this video's description where you can download a 100% free app. Upon downloading this app, you can then install it and then you can download apps via this app. Via downloading the app as well as sharing the app with your friends via your referral code, you will very quickly build up a ton of points of which you can then purchase Xbox Live, PSN or Steam cards which can then be used to get 100% free COD points as well as DLC. Hopefully this helps.